Kids Post.
Today on the Kids Post, we're going to be demonstrating baby wrapping, or what's sometimes referred to as swaddling. What we know is that this is not a one-size-fits-all. What works for some parents doesn't necessarily work for others. So today, myself and a couple of other mums are going to show you how we wrapped our babies. And I know they teach you this in hospital, but they teach you while they're teaching you 1,000 other things in a short amount of space, and then you get home and most likely you've forgotten. So hopefully we can help you out. First we have Mum Lindy, and she's going to show you how she wraps this little 3-month-old.
Okay, so what we've done is just laid out the little frazer out flat on the bed and put baby halfway in the middle of the little frazer. We'll start off by taking one of his hands and just putting it downwards onto his chest. Take the corner of the wrap and do it across his chest. Roll him onto his side and tuck the wrap underneath him. Roll him back again. We'll take the other corner and same, put that arm down onto the chest, across the baby to make a V in the neck. Lift up his bottom, tuck the wrap underneath and around, pull tightly. Take the bottom of the wrap into a triangle, lift the wrap up into a triangle reversed, lift the baby's bottom, tuck underneath, pull over baby's shoulder again in a V, and the same with the other side. Lift the baby's bottom, tuck underneath, twirl and tuck underneath.
And this is Cara. She's a neonatal nurse, lactation consultant, and mum of 5.
Okay, so today I'm using a muslin wrap, which are the very thin wraps, which are really nice and breathable for the babies, especially in warmer weather. They're nice to use. And I've got it in a diamond shape. And then we start off by taking the top corner and bringing it down. If we had a newborn baby, we'd probably bring it down further down towards the middle, but I've got a big 5-month bub, so I'm going to just do a little corner here, so I have more wrap to work with. Okay, we place him down, and we make sure that the top of the triangle is at his shoulder height. And then we're going to, I can show you both ways. Some babies like to have their arms down, it makes them feel more secure, like when they're in the womb. Newborns are more like that, they just like to be flexed and close together. So we have this arm flexed just slightly here, his right arm, and then we're going to take this part of the wrap and put it over the opposite side of his body. Nice and flat and right under his body, so he's got a snug fit. We're going to do the same with the opposite side. His arms flexed right next to his body. He's getting ready to go to sleep. He's happy. Bring it over the other side, around the opposite side of his body. And then we have a nice snug fit. And then with this bit, with a smaller baby, it would probably wrap around and do a nice big wrap around again, but just with this baby, we're just going to bring it up and have it nice and loose and tuck it in. And it's really important to have loose around the bottom part of their body, around their legs and their hips, so they can kick against something but still have motion, because a lot of times if we wrap a baby with flat legs and they can't move, that's just not how they're used to having their body, and it can cause a lot of hip dysplasia, softening of the cartilage, and even hip dislocation. So make sure to make this part quite sort of roomy, so they have space to kick around, but this can be nice and snug. A very similar type wrap is just making sure his hands are up at their mouth. This is good for babies that like to self-soothe by sucking on their fingers, or having their hands near their mouth. So same thing, wrap over around the opposite side of his body, again here, and secure him at the elbows, but he's got his hands to suck on. And again, keeping his bottom legs free.
Lastly, I'm going to show you how I wrapped my little one when he was small.
I wrap flat, and we take the top corner and we pull it down right down to the bottom of the wrap, and then just make sure it's all nice and straight. To depending how big your baby is, you put a little baby or a newborn more towards the top of the triangle, but because this is a bigger bub, a 5-month-old baby, we put him in the middle. So you start by taking his hands and arms and tuck it underneath the wrap, right up until where his neck is, and we pull that down the side of his body. And then you take the corner of the wrap and you pull it all the way across to the other side and tuck it underneath him, nice and flat, and you pull it quite tight because at this age they do have a lot more strength and try to wriggle out of these wraps, and that can cause them to wake up. So then we take the other hand and we pull that across his body, and just make sure both hands are down and tucked underneath, and you pull that across right up to the top and not halfway down, and then you pull that all the way across and also keep tucking in all the way underneath. And then we roll bub back the other way and pull everything through from the other side. And also what's down the bottom, we pulled that through as well. So we try and get the whole wrap on the other side. And these wraps are great because they've got a lot of elasticity in them, so we can pull them quite tight. With bubs at this age, it works really well for them. And then we tuck it in at the back, and make sure when you do that, that you tuck it in flat so it doesn't aggravate them. And it does look a little bit like a mummy, but it does work well, especially at this age. And then we take everything from down the bottom and we tuck it in and then pull it all through and tie everything down the bottom in a knot, so that way their feet can't get out and then they wriggle around and the wrap ends up halfway up them, but there's still enough room for them to move and their hips are loose. And that's it.
And I spotted this, and I have persuaded him to show me and you how to make it.